Hey guys, welcome back. With SDCC going on and so much happening, it can be easy to feel like you're missing out. Thankfully, Grimm has once again delivered some canon goodies to hold us over for the time being. The article proper starts with an interview with Kiki Wolfkill and Frank O'Connor about the upcoming Fall of Reach animated series. I have to say, the interview both gave me a little bit of hope and left me a little sad. Read the whole thing and decide for yourself, see what you feel, but I'll share the highlights and my feelings here. The first question is about the differences between the Fall of Reach animated series and its previous incarnations. Much to my excitement, Frank O'Connor has noted that the animated series will, while remaining true to the core story and canon, have a few differences, going so far as to say that it will fill in gaps and smooth out previous errors where possible. Let's hope they take full advantage of that. The next question is about challenges in adapting the story. Frankie again notes that the animation will take advantage of the fact that it is an animation, while dropping the inner monologue presented throughout the book. So that's actually pretty cool. The worst thing an adaptation can do is forget to adapt to the medium, and if Sequence can fully take advantage of the animated medium, it will certainly make for a better experience, no matter what. On the downside, Kiki does note that the series is only about an hour in total, which means it likely won't have a whole lot to it. Mostly surface level stuff. Still, I'd love to be surprised. The rest of the interview isn't exactly revealing, mostly just Frankie and Kiki being themselves. Again, take a read, decide for yourself. The final takeaway hints at connections to other media, notably Halo 5. Hopefully they'll take full advantage of that. Halo Reach! Moving forward, we get a little insight into the recently revealed Warzone map known as Raid on Apex 7. The site is said to be the spiritual successor to the Silent Cartographer level from Halo CE, and it seems that's not just the case in the real world. The Apex 7 site is a composite of data from installations 03 and 05, resulting in a site thought to have existed on Alpha Halo. The site is meant to train both military and scientific teams. Like Escape from the Ark, we can expect both Forerunner and Covenant resistance. I can't wait to see what sort of bosses we might get to encounter. Given the size, a Scarab or Scarab-like encounter would be totally kick-ass. The remainder of the article is an advertisement for the attractions at SDCC. Earlier today was a panel on Halo 5, Hunt the Truth, and everything Halo. While not yet available to the public, as of the making of this video, we can confirm that Hunt the Truth will have a second season in September. That will continue right up until Halo 5. When the full panel is finally made available, you can bet I'll be breaking down all the juicy new info. The article comes to a close with a trailer for the Fall of Reach animated series. While the interview from before left me with mixed feelings, I couldn't help but crack a smile at the trailer. It's got an epic feel and is full of scenes that longtime fans will recognize, and a couple that are new. Given how short it is, we'll do a quick breakdown right here. The trailer starts on an unknown world with Chief and Blue Team. No hints as to where we are, but I'm kind of thinking this might be Meridian again. As Halsey narrates, we get a flashback to the Fall of Reach's main story. The next scene we see is a ship approaching a colony, which I would presume to be Halsey and Keyes approaching Eridanos 2. The next scene is clearly John over what I assume to be Reach, followed by the Spartan 2s as they prep for their augmentations. We also get our first look at a young Dr. Halsey. The next two scenes depict the Spartans being dropped off by an albatross into a forest, this depicting the mission that would lead to John's promotion to squad leader. The scene after that shows a ship jettisoning what look to be coffins. It's hard to say for sure, but these could be the coffins of the washed out Spartans. Hopefully they'll address the fact that these were actually empty and the actual washouts were put into cryo. Given the 1 hour runtime, I'm not exactly holding my breath, but you never know. The final scenes give us a brief look at the Battle of Chi City 4, where the Spartan 2s would receive their first sets of Mjolnir Mark IV assault armor. Now I've seen a ton of people talking about it, so let's address the look of Mark IV in this series. At first glance, it looks a lot like John's Mark VI from Halo 4, but I encourage you to take a closer look. The armor certainly does have influence from Halo 4, but for the most part, it's the Halo Wars Mark IV. It would seem that 343 is going for a composite of the two, the main body being inspired by the Halo Wars armor, with the addition of the jetpacks from the Master Chief's upgraded Mark VI. I can't say I'm exactly happy about that, and I could get into a slew of canon reasons why, but it's better than a straight-up retcon. So that brings us to the end of the Fall of Reach trailer, leaving us with the new universe articles. This week we have the Sangheili and the Focus Rifle. The Sangheili article isn't anything to necessarily write home about, but it's nice to have a dedicated article for the species. The description is great if you aren't too familiar with their history, and does a great job at exploring how the Sanshayum incorporated themselves into Sangheili culture over the centuries, making the warrior species wholly dependent on the Sanshayum. Interestingly, a section towards the end notes that the Arbiter's faction, the Swords of Sanghelios, take their name from an ancient order, one that likely predates the Covenant. I'd love to learn more about this original order sometime, maybe in Shadow of Intent. Who knows? That closes out the Sangheli article, a good start at what I imagine to be an ever-expanding look on one of Halo's most beloved species. Next up is the Focus Rifle, which again doesn't exactly have that much in the way of new content. The Focus Rifle is an oddball in the Covenant sniper family in a few ways. First, rather than taking inspiration from Forerunner tech as most Covenant weaponry does, the rifle actually uses Forerunner tech, specifically the beam emitters from Sentinel aggressors. The second thing is the extremely visible and audible beam that it emits, giving away the shooter's position. Further, the beam takes an extended burst to kill, rather than the quick shots from the beam rifle. Interestingly, the article notes that the rifle is capable of minor adjustments to the angle of the beam when firing. I think anyone who's played enough campaign or firefight remembers the ungodly aiming abilities of some enemies. Nice little Easter egg, Grim. There's obviously much more to the articles that I left out, so be sure to check them both out. We'll close out today with a look at something from the article proper, but it's something I wanted to save for the end. Revealed at the Halo panel today was this infographic, a look at all the media directly connected to Halo 5. It's a great bit of info for fans who aren't exactly sure what media to read up on or look into prior to Halo 5's release. The full-size image is available in the Canon Fodder article, which is of course linked below. Well, that about does it for today. In addition to everything else, a new Halo 5 Vidoc was released early today, giving tons of new hints at Halo 5's story. A full breakdown will be posted later this weekend. I gotta take some time to write out some notes and really dig into this thing first. If you want to discuss the latest Canon Fodder and Halo 5 news, check out the Halo archive, links in the description box below. Until next time, this has been Halo Canon. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up, subscribing, and sharing it around. You are the reason I get to keep doing this, so thank you, profusely thank you. If you want to dive deeper into Halo's lore, head over to the Halo archive. It's a lore-based community that welcomes everyone from experts to rookies. No matter what your working knowledge, you'll be sure to find a friend and a good time.